Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Now I've managed to put all of the spode in the sideboard underneath the dresser and I don't have time to pack everything up individually because there's a lot. So what we've done is we've put it in there, that'll be protected from dust and nothing can fall on it. And if we do ever need to move the cabinet, we can take it out and move it, no problem. So anyway, it's safe for now. Now, before I do anything today in the basement kitchen, I've just got to do one thing. Now, I've put the glass into this window, I've put beading in, and I've sealed that in with a special glazing silicone. I've removed the excess, and I've actually painted the beading with a special primer, which is aluminium primer, or aluminum primer, which actually stops the wood from leaching tannins if it ever gets wet. And obviously, because the beading's on the outside, if it ever gets any moisture behind it, I don't want stain like stuff to sort of leach out and stain the paint. So we've done that. I'm going to put some masking tape on now, give that a coat of paint, and that window can go in tomorrow. And then after that, we're going to do something really exciting. We're going to clean the tiles and make them look nice and new. So let's do it. So when I did the original video of me starting the window, I got a lot of comments saying that we want to see you painting, it's not boring. And because obviously I don't find that very interesting to film, so I skipped those parts and just showed you the results. But here we are, if you really want to watch paint dry, let's do it, here we go. Oh, look at that, oh my goodness. Isn't that sexy? Oh, I could watch that all day. I'm only joking. It's an important job and it needs to be done, and if people want to see that, then I'll just show you quickly. Because somebody actually said that I wasn't painting these windows myself, and that's why I wasn't filmed painting them, because actually I've got an assistant doing it for me. Well, I would love an assistant to do it for me. That would be amazing. On this channel, we're doing it ourselves. Oh, is there nothing Michael can't do? Well, yes, he couldn't stick his rubber duck in Stephanie's bath bomb. Oh, my belt. Oh, shit. Come on. I can't get it on my belt. Something else he can't do. Is there nothing you can't do? He can't get the radio mic on his waistband. I've done it. Oh, that pinched the skin. Lovely. Was you recording that? Yeah. Perfect. Right, that's for the bloopers. Okay, so welcome. I always start with that. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I've already done that. Like, we've already started the video. Let's just get on with it, shall we? Let's do it. So these are the tiles. They are absolutely filthy. They're covered in God knows what. But we need to get it off, and we need to get them back to their lovely, bright, shiny cream colour. Now, I did the wall over there, and it had some green stains on it, and I actually managed to get those off. And I'll show you a shot of those now. I'll show you a green bit. There's the green bit. And I'll show you the bit where we managed to bleach them so that the green bits are now like pink, but not very noticeable. So there's the shot. We need to get these tiles to look like those tiles. What are we going to use to clean them? Now, those ones, I used hydrochloric acid, which absolutely stinks, and you have to wear a respirator. And I also used hydrogen peroxide, 35% mixed with household bleach and hairdresser's bleach. Don't ask me why, it's what I found and it worked. So once we get the dirt off of these, we'll probably give them a coat of that and let that sit for a few days. But before we continue, if you'd like to come over here, behind the pillar, we'll bring it along. We spoke with the carpenter, Paddy, about having all of the doors and everything remade in here and the cupboard. Now, for now, the cupboard's temporarily hidden by the dresser. Great. We can have the cupboard remade later on, and then the dresser can be moved to, if you look here, there's a really big, don't worry about the lights, that's just for filming. There's a really big wall here, so eventually I'd like to put the dresser with the china here and then have that cupboard remade, but for now, we've got a solution. Now this door that goes into the scullery, I thought it was missing. I thought it had rotted away and been dumped years ago, but we found it. And here it is. So it's a bit of a mess, but it's still solid. Now this is made of chestnut, and you can see actually somebody originally had painted a fake oak wood grain over the chestnut. So if we were going to have things remade, we probably would have had them remade in oak, but I found the door, and the only problem is it's a little bit rotten. If you can zoom in there, Lola. It's a little bit rotten on the bottom, but I think these parts could be cut out and remade without too much problem, because you see they've got pegs that hold them together and they're not glued. So the pegs could be knocked out, they could be deconstructed, and we could have some, I don't know what you would call lap joints or something like that, new pieces put in. And then that door can go back in, but the only problem is we don't have the original frame, or maybe we do, but I couldn't find it. So we do have the plans for that, so maybe just the frame could be remade, which would save us a huge amount of money. New frame, restore the door, and put the original door back, because it is nice to have the original stuff, really, even if it needs a bit more work, to have the original features, to say that's the door that was put there in 1905. I think that's great. So what we're going to do is, we'll have a new frame made and we'll use the original door. So yeah, so that's bringing our budget way back down. So it's only the cupboard that needs replacing, really, and the frame for this door. Great. But anyway, I digress. Let's put this back. It goes there. Obviously there's a frame. It opens that way. There's an identical door in the scullery. So if the carpenter needs to use that as reference, he can, but we do have the plans. So there we go. Let's put that there. Right. Let's do it.
So, hello Lola.
Hello, very professional things.
Yeah.
White balance is very perfect.
Okay, so we have run into a little snag. There's a fly in here, it's annoying me. Go away. Continue. So we got a problem. Now I need to use hydrochloric acid to clean these tiles because they've got years of calcium deposits. Now the calcium deposits are from the water leaking through the lime mortar above the ceiling and below the slabs on the patio. That has leaked onto the walls and left sort of like a chalk almost, or a lime film, and the only thing that's going to dissolve that is hydrochloric acid. Now it works wonders, it makes the tiles really clean, but it gives off really toxic fumes and it's really bad for your lungs. So obviously I need to wear chemical gloves, that fly is back again, chemical gloves, goggles and a respirator. Now I had a respirator, I bought a really expensive one, well I say expensive, it was about 30 euros, and I left it here and it's disappeared.
Somebody pinched it.
I didn't move it. I've checked the basement, I've checked Dad's basement, I've checked the workshop, I've checked in all the drawers and all the cupboards, and it is gone. So it's not here. Is it at the convent? I don't know. Anyway, so I can't use this right now, so I might have to rethink my plan and try and find something else to clean these, and I might have to give you an update later in the video as to where we got. So I'll see you later, and obviously we're not going to do it, so let's not do it. So there you go. Yeah, sorry about that, we're just waiting for Sadie to get the golf buggy going. Go on, push it!
It won't f***ing start!
She's swearing out there. Chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, bang chitty chitty bang bang.
I can't stop! It's out of control! I'm gonna die! I can't stop!
Chitty chitty bang bang. My sincere apologies for any accusations that I may have bandied about. Nobody pinched it, actually, and it wasn't at the convent. What I'd done is I'd actually been wearing it at some point, probably on my head like that, got upstairs, realised that it was still on, and just put it at the bottom of the stairs to the first floor. So, so it was here the whole time. There you go. I always do that. Dad's exactly the same. If he can't find something, he'll accuse everyone of pinching it, and actually he just put it somewhere. And I'm exactly the same. So there we go. We've got the respirator. But before we go in hard with the acid, go in with the chemicals, I think we're going to try something first. Now, where did I put that bottle? Good old fairy liquid. What was it? Nanette Newman. We wash this many in ordinary liquid and this many in fairy liquid. Okay, so classic, good old English brand. And we're going to try that with a bit of soap. So let's do it. You recording that? Yeah. Classic. Right, okay, let's give it a try. Oh, it's doing something. Well, I think we can probably just do it with a bit of elbow grease. If you care to have a look at Exhibit A and then Exhibit B, you can clearly see a huge difference. So I'm going to have to. Well, this is not easy work. This is like real sweaty scrubbing work, and I don't want you seeing that. That's not for camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on with this. Oh no, we don't say that on this channel. I'm going to get on with it, and I'll show you what it looks like later on. Okay, so I've obviously been cleaning it. I feel a bit lightheaded actually, I don't know why. Maybe it's the fumes coming off of that. I should really be wearing the respirator, but I've managed to get quite a lot of the stains off. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more work in this. Now here, there are a lot of stains, like there's crazing in the tiles where the surface has cracked and dirt has got in there over the years. But hopefully bleach will get that out. But at the moment, I'm just taking off the old red stains, which were actually oil stains, because originally here, when we first moved here, there was a massive steel tank here, probably about that high, and it was really long, and it was filled with heating oil, which ran the original oil-fired boiler for the heating system. Now, we took that out. That's one of the first things we did. But obviously, it's like red diesel kind of thing. and it had splashed all up the tiles, but we got most of that off. But obviously because this was covered by a rusty old tank, behind there has got really bad. But thankfully, eventually there's going to be kitchen cabinets along here, which will come up to about here, I'd say. So actually, if we can't get those stains off, it's not a problem. We've only got to really get this top part spotless, because that's all that you're going to see. And a lot of people said that we should take off the tiles behind the kitchen cabinets and reuse them for places where they're missing. But actually, the ones at the bottom here are in such a bad state, we couldn't use them anyway. And also, these tiles are really fragile. If I got like a chisel in there and tried to pop that tile off, it would just break into about 10 pieces. So it's not something we're going to be able to do. We're just going to have to find a replacement.
Luke, I am your father.
Oh, I just can't breathe in that. I'm being dramatic, I know. Oh. So this is where the original cast iron range cooker used to stand, and you can see the shape of it. It used to be quite long, almost, well, but just over 2 meters long, and they used to be like a box thing here with a sloped part. Now actually, my friend Stephanie Jarvis at Chateau de Lalande, the Chateau Diaries, you must have seen it, she has the exact identical range cooker, like exactly the same model, because I measured hers and it fits the same shape, the same height, the same length, it's identical. So we know what was here, thankfully. Now obviously that got ripped out years ago and sold. Obviously it was coal, so this is soot. Soot and grease from cooking, years and years worth. And I wonder if we can get it off. Yes, we can get it off, actually, here. I mean, that, it's gone like paint, almost. Carbon mixed with oil, that is basically a paint. It's set onto the tiles. Now, our new cooker will come up to about here. It's slightly higher than the original. So if we can at least get these parts clean, it won't make a difference. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's getting the worst of it off. Are you recording? I just breathed. I just took that off, and then there's acid on my glove, and I just breathed it all in. Just keep recording, it's hilarious. Don't breathe. The fumes from this hydrochloric acid is going to start attacking the iron girders and metal in here, and it will rust it. So what I've got is, obviously the floor is covered in water full of acid. The tiles are covered in it, and I'm thinking, how can I get it off? And I remembered we had this really old, very dusty carpet cleaner. So what I'm going to do is, this actually sprays water and then vacuums it at the same time. So I'm going to fill this with hot, clean water, spray the tiles with the head and vacuum the water back up, which will kind of get any excess off. And then I'm going to use that to clean off the water off of the floor as well. And hopefully that will get rid of it. Right, so I've put some bleach on the tiles, and I'm going to have to just let that sit and see what it does overnight. It doesn't work instantly. So let's talk about tiles. Sadie was just down here a minute ago, and she had a really, really good idea. Now, it's something people have mentioned before, and that is tile paint, but I've never used tile paint, and you can't just go and buy that standard colour in, say, your local DIY shop. Like, I mean, that's just, if that's a white tile, that's the colour of these tiles. And they're all slightly different colours. Now, there's a company in Manchester who make paint. It's not Little Green. They are also from Manchester as well. But there's a company called HMG Paint. And I've used a paint that they make before, and it's called C71 Speedline. And it's like a synthetic enamel paint. And it dries in about 4 hours, or touch dry in about 4 hours. And they will actually mix up colours, because I had some paint made before to match my Arga. It's really hard wearing paint. I painted onto a piece of polished brass by accident, and it's really difficult to get off. You couldn't even scratch it off. So I know it will stick to tiles really well. So I wondered if I could, see, these are the original tiles that have dropped off. We do have some left over. We have one of the border tiles. So this will have to be used to make a cast to make replacements. So that is really, that's the only one we have. But we do have some other tiles left, probably about 4 in good condition and a few half tiles. Now, not enough to replace them. So I was thinking what we can do is I can send a couple of these broken samples, the broken ones, to HMG Paint in Manchester. I'll post them to them, and I'll try and find a few, like maybe 3, where the colours are slightly varied. And I'll also send them one of these border tiles, because that's a different colour. It's more cream than the wall tiles. So I'll send them that. I'll send them a few of these broken pieces, and I'll say, could you make me 3 colours of paint, 1 for the border, 2 for the wall tiles. And what they'll do is they'll actually not just only match the colour, they'll match the exact level of sheen. And then if we can't find replacements, I can actually make a silicone mould of these original tiles, which I can pour into that, maybe some sort of like some concrete or cement mixed with some fiberglass fibres maybe, just for strength so they don't break. And then they can be individually painted and used to patch the tiles, and then just make as many as we need. Paint them, Bob's your uncle. I think for YouTube purposes, it's going to be more fun to see us actually making these tiles and doing it ourselves. So let's do it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you really soon for another video. Bye.